Okay, so I'm going to cover two items here. One is the shaxon peak envelope, and the other is the forest or city routine. So first I'm going to cover the shaxon flap envelope. So the first thing I did is I made a peak envelope, and I used these protective covers that you get for like baseball cards. So you can cut it out. It's a nice hard plastic, then you'll have two of them, and you just put it onto the back of that envelope. So that now becomes a peak envelope, and you cut off the flap. So it's a flapless envelope with a big peak. The shaxon envelope is just an envelope, so you take a normal envelope, then you cut off this portion of the envelope, and you just keep the back, and then you cut out a little flap. This little piece right here, and this, so the flap of the envelope, and this little lip is part of another envelope, and you just glue it to here. So you have a real envelope with a little flap, and the reason for that is you could take now the peak envelope and just slide it in like so, and then you have another envelope behind it. So in the example, you could ask someone to write down, a 3-digit number, or you could have them draw a picture, and let's say they draw the picture. So they draw a house. And then you could go over to them and have them put this looks so pretty. They put the card all the way in. You close the envelope, and you can lick it and seal it and put it down. And you have in fact kept here, so this is my extra envelope, and then here's my peak envelope. You now can see what they have drawn. So that is the shaxon envelope and how it works, which I think is a great peak method. It's great for a finale piece, which is basically what Jan Forster used in his routine. So what he does is he hands out three envelopes, and he hands out 4 pieces of paper. And he remembers the spectators 1, 2, 3, 4, and he has marked the envelopes. The way he marks the envelopes, and I love it, it's the way I would do it, is you just cut the tab here. So this is 1, so if you're reading left to right, it's 1, 2, 3, there's nothing. And envelope number 4, he has a pencil mark on, which I'll get into in a moment. So he's got spectators 1, 2, 3, 4, and they each write down a city on a piece of paper, okay? I'm only gonna do one example for envelope 4. Let's just say it's San Fran is the last one. So 3 spectators write down places they've been and they want to go back to. The last spectator writes down a place that he's never been but would like to go to. So he hands out the 3 envelopes, 1, 2, 3, and for the 4th one he sort of has like the change of mind. That person writes down the place they've never been, they fold it up, they put it in the envelope. And it's sealed, and they can see it. Then spectator number 1 gathers all 4 envelopes, shuffles them, and then he does a reveal. I should mention the 4th envelope has a pencil mark on the front and on the back, so he knows what it is. So he does the reveal for 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, whatever it is. He names the city and picks the person and does the whole description. This one, he's going to name the city before it's removed from the envelope. So that's pretty amazing. And how does he do that? So let's say on the first one, the first person said Las Vegas. This is a gaffe I'll get to in a second, but basically it's a shaxon envelope, but I have the slip in here. It's not in this envelope because what this is it's an envelope taped to another envelope with no flap, and then it's glued halfway down the middle, so the spectator can only put it in so far. It won't go deeper. And then that, in the middle of that goes a shaxon envelope with a flap, like so. I shouldn't do it with anything in it. So you got this V piece, and then the shaxon envelope goes in like this. So when they put this in and they go to seal it, I mean, that looks, I mean, it's really convincing, okay? And then this gets sealed. Okay, so now he's doing the reveal on the first one, which let's say is Las Vegas. So he takes it out, he shows Las Vegas to someone else. You think a lot of people are thinking of this city, etc., etc. This is, he puts in his, like their leftover envelopes, he just puts it in his pocket. And what he does is, he puts it away and now he starts talking. So he has Las Vegas and he's talking about Las Vegas. Las Vegas, Las Vegas, Las Vegas. He takes that eventually and puts it in his pocket and now describes Las Vegas and what's great about Las Vegas and why did you want to go there, this, that, and the other. And when he reaches back in, he goes back in and he takes this piece out and he opens it up. And he goes back to the same spectator, of course, doesn't show him Las Vegas. It's a third-party spectator. It's not the spectator who wrote it. Sort of like almost like a thing, Las Vegas. He says it again like they've read it again, but they haven't. And now he's looking at San Francisco. So now he knows the revelation of the fourth envelope. He drops it. This on the table. He goes to number 2. He goes to number 3. And now for number 4, he talks about a place that someone has never been. So it's much more difficult. And he does the reveal for San Francisco. I think it's absolutely great. So his setup is, that looks like envelope number 3. That looks like envelope number 2. This is envelope number 1. Voila. Here's the V. The shaxon goes in here. And then he has 4 pieces of paper. So he literally, his setup is this packet of envelopes and 4 pieces of paper. And then he hands out 4 pencils. And he is packing small and playing big with just this as a setup, which I think is fantastic. And that is the Forrester City Revelation routine.